say, oh, what a nice, happy accident happened to your artwork. I might as well be painting daisies. Cut to the next slide. This one I was much more happy with. A nice, clean, visual presentation, a universal symbol of emptiness, of openness, of whiteness. No content, no message whatsoever. I was pretty pleased with it.
James Frederick, one of the group's co-founders, talks about his early ideas in the neo-post-minimalist movement.
From the start, we were like 6 different people with different viewpoints and different motivations. I can remember walking through the Hirshhorn, seeing an exhibit by, I don't remember his name. I remember all the pieces, though. They were like dark and dreary and made out of old rotten stuff. Looked like it was after an atomic war. And I can remember thinking to myself, wouldn't it be neat just to burn it, to just set it on fire, to just pile it up and pour gasoline on it. And I fantasize about the flames climbing up to the ceiling. And I can remember thinking about, what about setting a building on fire? Wouldn't that be neat?
And thus, the concept of pyrosculpture was born.
There is fire in my art because there is life in fire. These people just don't understand that. That fire is our friend. It's here to help us, to comfort us. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just playing with my friend. Some people think that my work is weird, that it's perverted or something. Don't you understand that society is the thing that's sick and perverted? It's my job to burn it down so that it can start fresh. It's my job.
Once it was there, now it's not. It's like a lot of things today.
The Frederick story is intriguing, but no story is quite so intriguing as that of the school's founder, John Blanc. Now, Blanc removed himself from the creative process, as did Rodriguez. But John Blanc took that one step, perhaps 2 steps further. He also removed himself from the community, and, so far as we can tell, from the face of the earth.
The 3 pieces by John that were in the first exhibit were sheer genius. With them, he provided the key, the missing piece of the puzzle. Minimalism and post-minimalism had purged all from the art, but the art was still there. John purged the art itself.
A genius? The guy was nothing until I made him famous. It was all my idea. He was just a lousy artist.
Well, I didn't know John very well. He was always in his room. I lived here for 2 years and I never really spoke with him. Biff was the only one that dared to speak to him.
I never saw much of Johnny. He kept to himself. But in a way, I think I was his best friend. We didn't talk much. It was more of a spiritual thing.
And then one day he just disappeared.
He was nowhere, man.
Well, I always thought he was a bit strange. He was always asking me for money. The last time I saw him was the night before the show. He asked me for the key to the gallery. Next day, I went to the gallery and his paintings were gone. Poof! After that, I never saw him. He was in such a rush like there was someone after him.
He owes me a lot of money. He owes a lot of people a lot of money.
An unknown agency employed the services of Mr. William Brennan Smith, a private investigator.
Seems a lot of people are interested in finding Mr. Blanc. We have reason to suspect that he reneged on a financial agreement with a Mr. Vinny the Boot Casabino.
Acting on a tip, we followed a man who answered John Blanc's description, where our man Stan Bedlam approached him.
Are you John Blanc?
No.
I'm Stan Bettle, Mr. Blanc.
Fucking camera out of here.
Oh, Mr. Blanc, just a moment, Mr. Blanc. These minimalists, they are so hard to interview. There he is. Mr. Blanc! Mr. Blanc! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! He's not here. He's gone. He's gone. Here's his coat.
This is all the physical evidence that remains of John Blanc. Where his soul has gone, we can only speculate. But what we do know is that John Blanc was, or is, an artist locked in a struggle with his art. That struggle may have cost him his life.
He was a great, great man. They were all great men.
People will buy anything. I think everyone's afraid they're going to miss the latest trend. It's become a big commercial thing.
I guess those guys didn't appreciate good art.
John purged the art itself.
Once it was there, now it's not. It's like a lot of things today.
It's one of those Zen kind of things, the yin, the yang, that kind of stuff.
Nada.
I don't know.
So ends this week's discussion. Next week, on The Living Art, we'll be discussing contemporary architecture with special emphasis on mobile homes and shopping centers. Until then, I am yours in faith, Darian Debris.
When I first took up video, I felt a youthful exuberance with the power of the media. I was intoxicated by the power of the media. I felt as though I had the training wheels taken off my bike. And this first attempt is a little rough-hewn, a little boisterous. And I think that it calls attention to itself rather than presenting a non-entity. The second piece that I created on December the 8th was a reaction to the boisterous boyhood fascination with the power of the first piece. And it, on the other hand, is a little too strict, a little too pared down, and it calls attention to itself simply in the fact that it is so stringent. The third piece is a synthesis of the Dionysian aspect of the first piece and the Apollonian charge of the second piece. And I think it's most successful. The balance of the youthful physical attributes of the first and the pared down intellectual aspects of the second creates a perfect medium for a non-image, a total non-visual explanation of within a video visual media. Got my tongue tied there.